In a war-torn land where the echoes of gunfire filled the air and the streets lay in ruins, lived a young girl named Layla. She was just 7 years old when conflict tore apart her once peaceful homeland, forcing her family to flee for their lives. With nothing but the clothes on their backs, Layla and her parents embarked on a perilous journey in search of safety. They walked for days, their footsteps muffled by the sound of distant explosions and the cries of fellow refugees. Their journey was fraught with danger as they navigated treacherous terrain and evaded armed militias. But through it all, Layla clung to the hope that one day they would find refuge in a place where they could rebuild their lives. Finally, after weeks of uncertainty and fear, they arrived at a refugee camp on the outskirts of a neighboring country. The camp was overcrowded and makeshift, with tents pitched haphazardly amidst the dust and debris. Life in the camp was a daily struggle for survival. Food was scarce, and clean water even scarcer. Disease and despair loomed like specters, threatening to extinguish the fragile flame of hope that flickered within each refugee's heart. But despite the hardships they faced, Layla's parents never lost sight of the importance of education. Every day, they encouraged her to read and learn, believing that knowledge was the key to a better future. One day, as Layla sat outside their tent with a tattered book in her hands, she noticed a group of children gathered around a makeshift school. Intrigued, she approached them and asked if she could join. The teacher, a volunteer from a local charity, welcomed her with open arms, and so, amidst the chaos and uncertainty of refugee life, Layla found solace in the sanctuary of the classroom. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Layla's thirst for knowledge grew ever stronger. She devoured books on history, science, and literature, her mind expanding with each new discovery. But even as she immersed herself in her studies, Layla never forgot the hardships she had endured or the suffering of her fellow refugees. And so, she resolved to use her education to make a difference in the world. Years passed, and Layla's resilience and determination caught the attention of aid workers and activists. They helped her secure a scholarship to attend university, where she studied international relations and humanitarian law. Armed with knowledge and compassion, Layla embarked on a mission to advocate for the rights of refugees and displaced persons around the world. She traveled to war zones and refugee camps, bearing witness to the struggles of those who had been forgotten by the world. And wherever she went, Layla carried with her the light of hope that had guided her through the darkest of times. For she knew that even in the bleakest of circumstances, there is always a glimmer of hope waiting to be kindled. The moral of the story: even in the midst of adversity, the human spirit has the power to overcome. By embracing education, resilience, and compassion, we can transform the darkness of despair into the light of hope, illuminating the path to a brighter future for all.